Welcome ladles and jelly spoons to Kohigh Mathy's YouTube channel, your one-stop shop for all things retro in the world of video games. For all you trendy young moderns, the people who are fused as the kids say, we're back once again with a roundup of some of the video games that were gracing the shelves of game stores the world over. As always, I'm joined by Pat Whitemuffin, for if this show is for the people in the world who are fused, then Pat Whitemuffin really needs rewiring. Pat, what have you got on for us today?
Just the usual grey suit. Before we begin, I'd just like to say thank you to all the people who have written in suggesting a new name for Kohigh Mathy's YouTube channel. We haven't picked a name yet, but I'd like to thank Pam from Ealing for her suggestion of Old Dustbin Head's YouTube channel. We'll have a new competition for you later on when we'll be asking you to pick a new name for the microphone. Plenty of fun to be out there, I'm sure.
Thanks, Pat. Now, if we can try and keep this video on track, let's look at some of the video games that are marking their 30th birthday this September. The Art of Fighting, Ryoko no Ken, Fist of the Dragon and Tiger, is a fighting video game and the first in a trilogy that was released for the Neo Geo platform in the early 90s. It was the second fighting game franchise created by SNK following Fatal Fury, and is set in the same fictional universe as a prequel to the Fatal Fury series. Championship Manager, the first of the Championship Manager series of Association Football Management Simulation games. The game was released for the Amiga and Atari ST, and then later ported to MS-DOS. The game was written by Paul and Oliver Collier, co-founders of Sports Interactive, in their bedrooms. Retro train rolling. September 1997 sees these titles celebrate their 25th anniversary.
Hello.
Oddworld, Abe's Oddysee, a platform video game developed by Oddworld inhabitants and published by GT Interactive. It was released for the Sony PlayStation, MS-DOS and Microsoft Windows, and an emulated version was released for the PlayStation 3 via the PlayStation Network in 2009, 2010 and 2013. The game centres around eponymous Abe, a meek Mudokon slave at the Rupture Farms meat processing factory. When he discovers that he and his fellow Mudokons are being slaughtered to make a new product, Abe decides to escape and liberate as many enslaved Mudokons as he can. A remake of the game entitled Oddworld New and Tasty was developed by Just Add Water and released in 2014.
Lad, this bloody game ain't even in Tony's book. It's a travesty, Tones, I tell you. Oh, the sequel's in there.
Postal, an isometric top-down shooter video game developed by Running with Scissors and published by Ripcord Games. A man referred to simply as Postal Dude has been evicted from his home, and he believes that the United States Air Force is releasing an airborne agent upon his town of Paradise, and that he is the only individual unaffected by the ensuing hate plague. The game sees you engage in mass murder. The game was named after the slang term going postal, referring to murders performed by United States Postal Service employees in 1997. The sequel to the game, Postal 2, was released in 2003, and two additional sequels, Postal 3 and Postal 4, were released in 2011 and 2022 respectively. Director Yu Bol bought the movie rights for the series and produced a film of the same name. It is true that most video game fans say that they play video games to relax, but anyone who's watched Pat Whitemuffin play video games...
clips of which can be seen on Kohigh Mathy's TikTok, and if you're not following us on the hot new social media, What's wrong with yourself? Get yourself on there, lad.
But is it also not true, Pat, that you've subscribed to other forms of relaxation when you're not playing video games?
Well, I'd say that if we're talking about subscribing, then we really should be talking about you watching at home. Now, are you subscribed? And if so, why not? Get yourself subscribed, lad, and make sure to click that bell so you're informed every time we upload a new video. You know what I'm saying?
And if people are already subscribed and want to know how best to relax after a long day of playing video games?
Then I can highly recommend this tried and tested method. If it's all getting a bit too much for you and you feel the pressures of our modern day life, I highly recommend going into your bedroom, locking the door behind you, jumping into bed and pulling the covers over your head.
It is worth pointing out that Mr. White Muffin is not a trained medical professional.
What video games are turning 20? I'm glad you asked.
Hey, Sly, I thought you said Mesa City was going to be loud and busy.
Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus, known simply as Sly Cooper in Europe and Australia, is a platform stealth video game created by Sucker Punch Productions and was released on the PlayStation 2. The game focuses on Master Thief Sly Cooper and his gang, Bentley the Turtle and Murray the Hippo, as they seek out the Fiendish Five to recover Sly Cooper's family's Thievius Raccoonus, a book with the accumulation of all Sly's ancestors' thieving moves. The game was praised for using a variation on cel shading rendering, which is used to create a film noir feel, while still rendering as a hand-drawn animated movie, although it was criticised for being too short. The game was followed by 3 sequels: Sly 2 Band of Thieves, Sly 3 Honor Amongst Thieves and Sly Cooper Thieves in Time.
Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus appears in the book 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die by our good mate Tony Mott.
Battlefield 1942, a first-person shooter video game developed by DICE and published by Electronic Arts for Microsoft Windows and Mac OS X. The game can be played in single player against video game AI, or in multiplayer modes against players on the internet, or in a local area network. It is a popular platform for mod developers who release modifications that will alter the gameplay and theme. In-game, players assume the role of one of 5 classes: infantry, scout, assault, anti-tank, medic or engineer. Players have the ability to fly various World War II aircraft and bombers, navigate capital ships, submarines and aircraft carriers, man coastal artillery defences, drive tanks, APCs and jeeps, and take control of anti-aircraft guns and mounted machine guns. Each battle takes place on one of several maps located in a variety of places and famous battlefields from all the major theatres of war from World War II.
Surprise! Battlefield 1942 appears in the book 1001 Video Games You Must Play Before You Die by our good friend Tony Mott.
And to bring this month's retro roundup to a close, here are a couple of video games that may not be retro, but it may surprise you to know that they are celebrating their 10th anniversary.
Now be careful taking down Boom Boom.
Borderlands 2, a first-person shooter video game developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K Games, taking place 5 years following the events of the first Borderlands. The game is once again set on the planet of Pandora. The story follows a new group of Vault Hunters who must ally with the Crimson Raiders, a resistance group made up of civilian survivors and guerrilla fighters, to defeat the tyrannical Handsome Jack before he can unlock the power of a new vault. The game features the ability to explore the in-game world and complete both main missions and optional side quests, either offline in single player or split screen, or online cooperatively. Like its predecessor, the game features a procedurally generated loot system which is capable of generating numerous combinations of weapons and other gear.
Well, I'll pay you back for that!
Tekken Tag Tournament 2, another sequel in the Tekken fighting game series, released for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360s, and it was also ported to the Wii U as one of the system's launch titles, subtitled Wii U Edition. It is the 8th installment in the Tekken fighting game series. Like the original Tekken Tag Tournament, the game includes almost every character from past Tekken games, giving it one of the largest playable rosters in a Tekken game to date.
Round 2. Fight!
And there you have it for another month. As always, I'd love to know if you watching at home have played any of the games that we've mentioned today. Maybe there was a game that you were expecting me to mention that I've missed. If that is the case, then please do tell me what game that was and why you liked it so much. If you're new to the channel and you've made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. Please do check out some of the other videos on the channel. I can highly recommend the retrospective review series. There will be a link at the end of the video, and there's also one in the description down below. If you've enjoyed what you've watched, then why not consider subscribing? It is free after all, and you can always unsubscribe later. Now, I was going to be taken to see Cheddar Gorge, but I've just been reliably informed that he's finished. So I guess I'll just say cheerio, see you Friday.